I never thought I would hear myself say the words, "Don't forget your turfs tomorrow." What's a turf? A turf is what my students affectionately call the tutorial request form, or the TRF. I have been saying this twice a week for 4 years. So, how did a theater arts teacher become an AVID elective teacher, you ask? Well, it was a cold and windy day in deep South Texas. Anyone from South Texas know it's never cold. 4 years ago, I was lost. I wanted to stop teaching. Yes, I said it. I wanted to quit. You see, I was a traveling teacher, and this meant I went to 2 different schools daily. I spent my mornings at Fossum Middle School, my home school, and the afternoons at another school in our district. Why was this so horrible? I mean, I did get paid for the mileage, a whole 25 cents per mile. You see, I'm a huge believer in creating student relationships. This means getting to know your students, not just in your class, but also in their lives. I would show my support by going to games, plays, concerts, or anything else school-related. Students saw that I cared, and they changed. They changed how they worked for me and how they acted in class. How could I do that as a traveling teacher? If I went to one school's game, the other students from the other school felt like I was betraying them. Not to mention Blue Jean Friday with the Spirit shirt. You all know what I'm talking about. Couldn't wear one shirt without the other school making comments. It was a difficult situation to be in. I felt I couldn't get through to any of my students at either school. One day, my Fossum principal at the time, hi, Mr. Canales, asked to see me. I was nervous. I sat there waiting to speak to him, and I thought for sure I was going to get in trouble. For what? I didn't know. But we've all been there, waiting outside the principal's office, wondering why we were called in. Admit it, it's okay. The meeting was better than I thought. Our AVID elective teacher was retiring, and he asked me if I wanted to take over for her, as well as keep my theater arts classes. If I did that, I would be on my home campus the entire day. Before I could stop myself or think about what he was asking me, I blurted out, "Yes, I'll do it." About 10 minutes later, as I sat at my desk, I was wondering what I had just gotten myself into. I started to research AVID. I mean, I knew what it was from our faculty meetings and things, but I wasn't 100% sure. So I went to Google and I typed in AVID. I got some sort of editing software. Laugh all you want, but you've all done it. It took me a minute to realize that I had to capitalize all the letters in AVID. As I read through my research, I became more nervous. I thought, me? Teach college readiness? Really, me. Summer Institute came and went so fast. I was AVIDized. There was something about AVID that I related to. I just loved it, and I knew and felt that I had made the right decision. I was AVID. I was that in-the-middle student who tested well, but my grades were A's, B's, and C's. I grew up in a single-parent home. My father was in and out of my life. I was the first grandchild to go to college. Out of 7, only 3 of us went. My grandfather was a doctor, and my grandmother a nurse. My mom had gone back to college after her divorce from my stepdad. I saw her struggle to work full-time, go to school, and make sure my sister and I were provided for. To top it off, my mom has polio. She walks with braces on her legs. Looking back, I don't know how my mom did it, but she did. And for that, I am forever grateful. I shouldn't have looked at her because now I'm crying. She taught me that no matter what our circumstance, there's always a better choice to be made. She also taught me that hard work is the only way to succeed in life. I saw her work ethic, and I learned from her. Thanks, Mom, I love you. Mom also told me that college was not an option. The sky was the limit for me. Theater was my calling in high school. It was my high school theater teacher who in turn was my AVID teacher. She helped me to believe in myself. She encouraged me to follow my dream of acting and to audition for college theater programs around the state. To this day, she is still someone I go to for guidance and I consider a friend. Thanks, April. By the way, she's vacationing in New York City right now. If I could be that someone for at least one person, I knew I could make a difference in my students' lives. I came back to work with a vengeance. I planned, and the results, there are no words. That first year of AVID opened my eyes to a whole new world of teaching. I changed that elective class. We turned it into something amazing and so rewarding. I built new relationships. I challenged my students, and they challenged me right back. I was alive as a teacher again. I supported them, I encouraged them, and I loved them. Just the other day, I had a student who, for all accounts, was tough. She hated school, hated her teachers, and hated doing any kind of work. She was absent a lot due to medical issues. She came to see me and told me that if it weren't for me, she wouldn't be where she was now. She said that I showed her she could do anything, and she thanked me. She also wanted to make sure her brother was put into my 7th grade AVID class. My jaw dropped. All this time, I thought she hadn't heard me or even cared. But she had. In AVID, I have the opportunity to show kids their true potential, to help them believe in themselves when no one else will, to show them that hard work does pay off. I am able to give them the tools they need to succeed. Giving up is not an option in life. If we aren't willing to work for what we want, then we don't deserve it. I also tell them that they are responsible for their learning. It is up to them, not me, if they want to succeed. Sometimes, my students just need someone to talk to or someone to listen with an open mind and heart. Watching my AVID students work hard for AB Honor Roll and then all A Honor Roll is probably one of the most rewarding parts of being an AVID teacher. For some kids, being on the AB Honor Roll for the first time can be a life-changing experience. They see that they can do anything if they set their minds to it. When you teach AVID, your students' triumphs are your triumphs. Their failures as well. Their grief is your grief. I've seen my classes pull together to help each other in a way that leaves me speechless. You are a family, or as my kids say, a big dysfunctional family. Not only am I a teacher, I am a mother, a role model, and a person who they can rely on. They know that when they walk through those doors that they are loved and cared for deeply. There are times when I am so frustrated by their lack of motivation, and the next week I'm completely blown away by their work ethic. My classroom isn't perfect. If I could get all of my students just one time to have their TRFs filled out before class, I would have a heart attack. I know I'm not the only one. We still have lots of room to grow, but isn't that why we are teachers? We find what works and what doesn't, and we make it a better lesson plan. Engaging the students is difficult, maybe even impossible. As teachers, we make the impossible possible. Last year, we had our first AVID Awards night at Fossum. I had the students write a letter to a teacher who influenced them most during middle school. I don't think there was a dry eye in the room. I was surprised when a few of my students wanted to write to me. One student who I thought never listened said in his letter to me, "Mrs. D, I want you to know that when I came into your class, I thought it would be easy. You showed me what tough love is, and for that I'm forever grateful. You taught me I am the only person who can bring me down and to take responsibility for my learning. Thank you for being my teacher, my encourager, and a shoulder when I needed it. And better yet, thank you for being my biggest fan. I love you." By the way, that student will be a sophomore this year, and he was on the AB Honor Roll for his entire freshman year. So round of applause to him. Super proud of him. Mrs. D, I don't know where I would be without you. You're an amazing teacher. I'm not gonna lie, but that first day of 6th grade when I had you for drama, I walked in and sat down. Your first words to us were, "Hi, I'm Mrs. DeLeon." Not Miss, not Yo, but Mrs. D or Mrs. DeLeon. And you said it in a mean way. At first I thought you were some crazy white lady, but I was completely wrong. You have inspired me to work hard in school and on the court. And don't worry, those VIP tickets are coming soon. Yeah, you have really impacted my life these last 3 years. I know that I will have to work my butt off in high school these next 4 years, and I will. It's going to be really hard to say goodbye to you. I really don't want to. I'm sorry for all the times I made you mad or annoyed you. Thanks for everything. Those simple and honest words are the reason I love my profession. As teachers, we have the opportunity to change the lives of every student we encounter along the way. AVID has truly changed the way I teach, learn, and interact with my students. There is a quote that I love about teaching. The author is unknown. Some of you may have heard this before. Teaching. You laugh, you cry, and you work harder than you ever thought you could. Some days you're trying to change the world, and some days you're just trying to make it through the day. Your wallet is empty, your heart is full, and your mind is packed with the memories of kids who have changed your life forever. Just another day in the classroom. I am truly grateful for the opportunities I have been given because of this amazing program. Thank you.